Hello, party people. Hello. It's Randee for Thunderhorse Descendant. I am back today for us to finish up this necklace that we started where we jazzed up our pendant, right? And so now it's time to utilize some of the other things from the Bargain Bead Box Burgundy Boho from November, right? From November? Yes, I'm still on November. But regardless, we're still gonna jazz up the chain today. So let's jump right into the video, and here we go. All right, so what I'm going to do today, I've gotten some of the beads out that I'm going to use, and the links as well, the two little links. I'll put those in the chain, and I've got out some bead caps. I've got our necklace toggle clasp, and I've got the chain. So what I'm going to do is, I haven't done anything with this chain yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the chain and I'm going to cut it in half. I'm just going to give it a snip. And the reason for this is because we are going to be adding beads into the chain. So I'm only going to be using this one for right now. And we're going to be adding beads into the chain by wire wrapping beads and links before we put on our pendant. So how are we going to do that? Well, what we're going to do is, I'm going to move some of this out of the way here, and I'm just going to start wrapping. I'm just going to move this to the side. I'm going to grab myself some wire. This is 22 gauge gold wire. I get this at Taylor's Falls Bead Store. 22 gauge. You could use, you could use 22, you can use 20. Kind of depends on what you feel more comfortable with. I think a 22 will work. I use 22 for a lot of my projects. So here I have about 5 inches. You probably don't need that much, but I feel like it's better to have some than none at all. And we're just going to start wrapping beads up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you down here a little closer. And you've probably seen me do this quite a few times. I'm just going to make a loop like so. Looks like that. Easy peasy. Take that off of there. And I'm going to start by taking the end of my chain link and putting that right on there like so. And we're going to close it up. So I'm just going to go like this, and I'm going to wrap the tail around about 3 times. So it looks like I got 3 wraps on there. Okay. Then we're going to give this a snip. Tuck that in. If you didn't want to do wire wrapped loops, you could do simple loops with your looper. I just prefer to do this, the wrapped loops, because I feel, personal preference, I feel like sometimes they're a little more secure. And since we're going to be adding a lot of them, I mean, not a lot, but we're going to just spice them throughout the chain, that, why not? Okay, so now we're just going to add beads, and I'm going to start with a bead cap here. These are so thin, I just want to make sure I only have one, which I do. And I'm going to add some of these Mountain Jade. And like that. But I'm also going to put a larger one right next to it. And there's no rhyme or reason to this. You could do whatever you wanted with it. So this is going to be our first wrap. So now I'm just going to go in here, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space. When I bend my tool, see this bottom bar? I want that to hit up against that bead so that when I wrap this front part around, it's going to give me enough space to wrap. You see that? So now I can wrap in that little area. I do it this way just because I know then that all of my spacing will be pretty much uniform. You know what I mean? We're just going to snip that off. Tuck it in. There we go. So there's our first one. Now, my plan here is that I'm kind of starting in the middle. Let me zoom you out. Kind of starting in the middle because I want this guy to hang down here. So that is the back of that. Okay, so it'll be like this. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, and this is, again, you know, your choice. I'm going to put some more bead links onto here. And I'm just going to do that by, again, utilizing this wire wrap technique. And we're going to see me do this quite a lot throughout the video, so, you know. So again, just doing like that. Connect onto this one. If you wanted to make all of your stuff, you know, your links, and then hook them together with jump rings, you could do that as well. Kind of just depends on your personal preference. But I'm not going to do too much of these, but I just want to jazz my chain up a little bit. All right, and then I'm going to go in again with the beads. So I'm going to try one of these red melon ones. I might put a bead cap on there. And the reason for that is just because I don't know, this hole's bigger, and I don't want it to maybe go over the top of the loop, so I'm going to put a bead cap for safety. And I'll put another one. And I'll put a little baby purple crystal on there. So I'm just kind of alternating red and purple. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason here. Okay. Get on there. There we go. All right. So now you can see this one only has 2 beads where the other one had 3, but that's fine because like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to that. All right, and we're well on our way. So now, tuck in the tail. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to add a link. I'm going to add a little bit of chain to this side, and I'm going to add one of those links. Get all this business out of the way here. So what I'm going to do to add the link is I'm going to grab myself some jump rings. Oh, did I forget the jump rings? You know I would. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I grabbed the jump rings. So what I'm going to do here is I am just going to add a link right here. And I'm just going to do that with a jump ring. So I'm using oval jump rings. You can use whatever kind of jump rings you want. And I'm just going to connect into that loop and then connect into this loop. Close that up. And then I'm going to add a little chain on this side. So I'm going to take the other half of the chain. Now, here's the thing. Once you start adding chain or adding beads and things, you don't know how long, you know, you're going to want your necklace to be after you get all those things added in there. So I'm just leaving everything long right now. And then when we get up to the top of the necklace for finishing is when I will decide, you know, how long do I really want this to be. So I am utilizing all of the chain at this point, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stay that way. Okay, so let me move this like this. So this is what we got so far. Okay, so now I'm just thinking, I'm just putting it this way because it's just easier because it's so long right now. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to put some more of these larger hole beads because then you can see they won't go through this bail. So I'm going to put more larger beads on the other side so that this pendant is basically stuck down here in the middle. And so I'm going to start on this side adding beads. It doesn't necessarily have to be right down here. I'm actually going to start up here across from this. So I'm going to take my little clipper and I'm going to cut here. And I'm going to remove that chain, but we're going to put it back on once we get some more beads on. So I want to make sure that I put this larger bead first thing, or in the first, you know, round or whatever I'm doing here, because I don't want that big bail we made on that pendant to move. So again, just going. Going with this guy, make the loopy, stick it in here. Grab onto him. Now, a trick I like to use when I'm doing this is I take my thumb and I'm going to kind of bend a little bit so it makes that, it kind of gives it a place to sit so that when you go to wrap, it makes it a little easier. Okay. And I'm just tucking that in a little bit. All right. So now, again, these have like a bigger hole, so I am going to use a bead cap for safety. Put that bigger guy on there. And I don't want them to be the same. So on this side, I'm going to just do this one. So wrap him up. I always kind of give this a, I always kind of give this like a little work hardening there, just for, it makes me feel good. I don't know. Makes me feel like I'm doing something. Okay, and then on this side, I'm going to add the link. So I'm again doing that with a jump ring. Oh, sorry. Got to unzoom ya. So I'm just adding a jump ring here. And then instead of adding chain, I'm going to then do another wrap. Get a little more wire. And to me, this is kind of the fun part. Like, you can do, you know, you could do as many or not as many. You could add chain. You know, you could do kind of whatever you want with this, which is what I like about it. So, here we go again with this guy. Doing the loop. Now I'm going to add him on to the link. And, you know, if you want it to be more uniform here, you could add a jump ring. It's all up to you, which is one of the spectacular reasons I like to bead, because you can do whatever you want. You can make it whatever you want. So, doing the 3 little loops here. And give trim. Tuck that in there. Did he get in all the way? Oh, no. Okay. So he's tucked in. And now on this side, I am going to do a little red. So I do like these melon beads, but I'm going to do a red crystal. And then a red melon bead with a bead cap. And one of the, well, maybe I'll put another bead cap. Okay. Get on there, you. And then I'll do one of these mountain jade ones. Okay. So, now here, I'm going to add the part of our chain, but I want to look and see. No, that's all right. It's a little far away, but I just wanted to look and see how long do I want this to be, because I could use this side that's coming off, you know, on this other side and to connect that. And then you wouldn't even need, you know, you wouldn't even need a toggle clasp. I mean, you could add one if you'd like, but I'm just looking to see how long is that and is it going to be too long. But I think that it's actually going to work out perfectly. That was a happy accident. Usually I have to do a lot more cutting and trimming, but I am just going to connect the other end of our chain from this side. So I'm just connecting the other end. Here's all that chain. And wrap around. Okay. Just make sure he's tucked in nice and good. All right. So now I'm going to move this stuff out of the way here. and see if I can give you an overview of what we end up with. So there's what we end up with. I'll probably get this out and put it on the bust and take some photos of it. But the cool part is that this portion now, if it goes this way, it's not going to go over that bead. And if it goes this way, it's not going to go over this bead. So he's basically suspended in the middle here. And then this is going to move, you know, so it might be asymmetrical, like so, or maybe, you know, you wear it like this. Maybe you wear them even by the links, but it's asymmetrical, and I think it turned out pretty good. So I will get some photos, leave those here at the end for you. Thank you guys for hanging in with me. I know some of you were not very happy that I didn't finish the whole project right away, but it made for quite a long video. And like I said, I've been working through some grief with the loss of my pet. I did get all your nice messages, and I'm so thankful that you guys were sending me nice messages. And I also have an announcement that I am going to stick to a schedule. I'm going to try a schedule for posting YouTube videos for sure on Thursday. So there may be other videos that come along, but for sure, my goal, for sure, there will be a video on Thursday, because I've heard the feedback of people saying that would be, you know, having a specific day for posting would be good. So I think like anything in addition to Thursday is just like a happy extra. But for sure on Thursday, there will be a new video. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I will leave some photos, and I will also leave my logo over here so you can join me anytime. Make sure to ring the bell so you know when I'm putting up new videos. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.